seeing a nice, slow, fly around my dad's property. And while I fly around that property, as I have many times, I will add more to the story. As time went on, about 2.5 years worth of time, basically, she just put up a wall, an emotional wall, and blaming her mother for her social awkwardness and da-da-da-da-da. And in that time period, someone else moved in next to me. And that also had a major impact on my life for the past year. So, after she left, I gave Letitia a little bit more of my attention, just out of the kindness of my heart. I checked her oil all the time. I bought her some tires, just things I just do out of the niceness of my heart, like giving them free internet, like putting up a fence for her mother. These were all things I just did. Or even washing her mother's car, and picking up her mother's roommate in Kansas City anyway. But had I gotten any sort of explanation from her during that time, they wouldn't have been able to use her name so many nights to keep me awake. See, that year, I'd never had to call the police before, but that year I had to call the police 4 different times. And simply got dismissed by my family, which I now know is because of their, physical and verbal abuse from my grandpa, who's now passed away. But they're all dismissive personalities. And even my mom has become, she picks on or bullies her own sister and bullies her own son. And the only time I see her smile is when she's talking about death or the next life, and that's it. And that is really sad. Seems like me and Amy do see this because we're the ones who get the brunt of the picking and the blame, all the blame placed on us, like we're the whipping boys of the family. Like it's all our fault. And I know it's not. Whose fault it is, it's G-Bob's. But when Mom does not have to continue that legacy at all, she can stop making fun of me, like she did with the house key, saying, "Oh, there's probably a reason we didn't give you a house key." Because I wonder if she's ever thought of how many times she says whatever in one single day when she had to work with Amy. And when I was at home, and just simply shuts down constantly. You can't just throw your hands up and say whatever every time, or just go on the defensive whenever confronted about, something you said, something you did, or something you dismissed. But at least now I understand why. And hopefully I'll be able to correct it in time. Because if I don't, nobody in the family will. I guarantee you. Because they can care less. They don't want to communicate better. They just, want to make sure I'm miserable. What they did while I was at the house, and make sure that, the people that made me or tortured me for the time that I was tortured, get away with it, because there's just too much evidence. I mean, maybe circumstantial, but there's too much for them not to believe me, and that's all they had to do the first time. father could have gotten out of the vehicle, walked up to Judy and David's door, knocked, and asked them if they made the comment. And that would have simply put a stop to every bit of this. But instead, he stepped out and he laughed. And I had to walk away defeated. Every time, there's many times after that I had to pretty much just give up saying I'm defeated, like when I threw my blood pressure monitor against the wall. Of course, it was the furthest wall away from the neighbor I had the most problems with, which was Judy. But still, I'm sure she heard it. And each time, she did nothing. She never called me one time during all this. You know, it's just too many odd things, too many coincidences, too many. But nobody wants to recognize that. Just like she told me today, or 2 to 3 weeks ago, she called Granny 2 or 3 times, and 2 times she got I'm a foreign man, and the 3rd time she got a group call, which was really odd. But guess whose son works at AT&T and might know something about that, as well as how my phone got cloned. Or, you know, she could have helped me get a lawyer. And it took 5 months to get my phone records, and I wrote a book, literally. I just predicted those things. It's on Amazon. It's Orange Meets Fat. I'm pretty sure it is available to buy, $10 for a paperback copy. Anyways, that's a fictional book. I've used a lot of AI for creative, fictional ways to tell stories, to explain this type of behavior that I experienced over there, which was a gaslighting behavior.